My name is Guez. I'm an artist. I was born in Jerusalem and I live and work in Jaffa.
I am Eugenia Viola and I'm the Chief Curator of the Modern Art Museum of Bogota, Mambo.
My name is Hilit Zwick, and I'm the Executive Director of Guez. Guez is a nonprofit organization that's based in New York City. And what we do is we provide support for art institutions, museums, festivals worldwide that are showing contemporary artists from Israel.
Castastrophe will be my first museum solo exhibition in South America. And it tells the story of one territory, the place where I was born and raised, that has different names and titles. People relate to it as the Holy Land in the 19th century, later on, or at the same time as Palestine. People like to relate to it as Ottoman Palestine, later on as Mandatory Palestine. And in 1948, it was titled the State of Israel.
Israel is a young country and has a fairly young tradition of the arts. The arts in Israel developed very, very quickly alongside the development of the state and the growth of the state. For us, Dor really represents what art is about, because he encompasses the complexity of the place and of Israel, both boundaried and unboundaried. Both him as a person, but also his artwork and his practice, which really manifests what the place is about in a material sense, in a poetic sense, in an abstract sense.
On my mother's side, we are a Palestinian family, and my dad was born to a Jewish religious family in Tunisia that immigrated to Israel in the 50s. This mixed background shaped not only my identity, but also my perspective on the world, and maybe more importantly in relation to the show, my path in art.
Starting from these complex circumstances connected also to the private life of his family, basically, he built a work that is challenging the notions of memory, witness, and documents. This is also connected to the use that is doing of the archives, that can be more broadly contextualized in an attitude spread by several artists from Middle East.
The exhibition Castastrophe is a mutual catastrophe. It's not just the catastrophe of my own personal family story, starting from 48. It's also the catastrophe of being human.
Walking into an exhibition of Dor's work can bring an enormous richness of understanding of what you as a person might encounter in this space that we call Israel, or that space that we call Israel and Palestine. The people, the histories, the personal stories.
Many of the work in the exhibition comes from a personal place. I thought I'm doing it for a very local audience that will understand the context of what it is to be a minority in the state of Israel and in Palestine. But the more and more the works were exhibited outside of the borders of the country, I realized that these topics are global.
Catastrophe is also emblematic of what is happening in these specific days today, where everything is becoming extremely uncertain.
We are all questioning our position in the world and how things are changing all the time around us. We experience it in the present and we can learn about it from the past. And in a sense, I think that in the exhibition, the past really stares at you directly in your eyes, and it tells you something about yourself in the present.